All right. All right. Well, good morning, everyone. If you are new to our family, we want to say welcome. I'm Brittany Francis. This is Rick Francis. And we've got our guest, John Hinckley. in here. And so, welcome to the family. Truly, this is a family, and we want to just impact the world with all of you and be here for all of you guys as you guys impact globally with this technology. So we're just so excited to be here. We are at the right place at the right time. There's something that hit me very hard this last week was I called one of my girlfriends and she said, she said, we've struggled with special needs issues with children in our area for a very long time. And she speaks Spanish, and we're going to cover that in a minute. But she said, Brittany, if this is what I think it is, she said, autism is going to be in the past. She said, I really believe that. So, we're in the right place at the right time with the exact thing that we need. So don't doubt that. Okay. And you're with the right people. A reminder real quickly that the Anaheim, California the conference from LifeWave is Anaheim, California. It's coming up. We have global leaders coming from all over. We have the one and I always forget. This is Elton John. Rick and I saw him in person. He's amazing. But the one and only Elton John that is actually going to be doing a concert for us at a very special conference just for LifeWave. But aside from that, all of the pieces of the puzzle of LifeWave are all just coming together beautifully globally. And so they're going to be talking about all the technology that's coming out, that's coupled with the X39, all of the beautiful things that are being discovered by David Schmidt in his labs are just amazing. So they're going to go into a deep dive there. And then after that, it's 1 million stars. So that's Sunday afterwards. Steve and Gina Merritt, their This Is It team, which is obviously the big team that we're a part of. They're going to be coaching us how to walk through the next year of 2026. So if you can go, please do. If not, Rick and I will have a special meeting after that for those of you that could not go, and we will get you all trained up and ready. So that is big. The Bahamas incentive trip, guys, we're only 4.5 weeks into this. Okay. And there's 11 weeks in this. You can very quickly hit this trip. Okay. The Robinsons, who I believe Brittany's on, she and Kirk jumped in. I think there was 4 weeks left in the last incentive, and they hit it. Punta Mita, they hit it without a, they just said, this is what we're doing. This is where we're going. And so tomorrow there's going to be a training on how to hit that. I am dedicated. Rick is dedicated. Your leader is dedicated to helping you do that. So if you say, you know what, it's about time for a vacation, then let's help you get there. Okay. Spanish teams are exploding. This is big. So if you are, or if you have a Spanish team, Champion Makers does have a Spanish group in school. However, what I'm finding is that the This Is It team is equipped a little bit better than we are currently as Champion Makers. So they're moving. They're moving.
It's a lot more updated stuff. The stuff in Champion Makers is limited, and it's a little older. So, but this is really taken off.
Yeah, and they have consistent now Zooms. So if you say, look, I have people that are in Spanish that need to know, their training is now happening consistently. We don't have to dig for training. Rick can read Spanish, so I'm sure. I don't know what this says, but it looks good. So there's so much happening. It looks great. There's so much happening in the Spanish world. And truly, if you just go to YouTube and look up the This Is It team channel, This Is It team channel, you will be able to find all the Spanish Zooms. Okay. So testimonies are needed for Testimony Tuesdays, and they are flying in. So I don't know, is Dr. Duggar on? Dr. Duggar, are you on, or he might be with a patient right now? I know he's trying to move his schedule around. Okay, he might be with a patient. So Pat Davis, could you share what has happened to you, please? Because I would love for you to share what is going on. He's unmuting himself.
Yeah, I've been kind of tracking it, but it's kind of something in progress. I have been tracking my blood sugar as I do a radio show with Randy Shenning, and it's called the Patch Cast. And when I'm on the show, I tell people about my blood sugar, and I say I'm not a diabetic and I don't want to be one. But I have been borderline and watching my sugar, and I've noticed that it's been a lot more leveled out of late. Some of it is, I'm learning some of the trends and things to track as far as what I eat and when I eat and stuff like that. But it's been an eye opener to see how low my blood sugar's been going down and, leveling off. That's the big thing, is leveling off. And then when I eat something that I, normally would see a huge spike, it's quite a few numbers lower on my glucose level. So that's a big deal. And I mean, I talked to Joe Duggar, who we just talked about, and he's my family doctor. And I said, Joe, this is what's going on. Do I have a faulty, possibly a faulty glucose monitor? I use a Freestyle Libre 3 monitor. And he goes, no, I'm seeing more and more of that in other different things where basically the system resets. And it's been about 13 months for us now. And I compared the numbers to a year ago, and it was quite a bit lower than it was then. And at that point, I think I was eating about the same and stuff like that. So still more to be seen with it.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Well, I know Dr. Duggar might be jumping on here in a little bit. He's going to try. He messaged me this morning. He's going to try, but he's been seeing some incredible results in his office with even the water machine and combining it with the X39. So it's just very, very exciting. What is happening is miracles, miracles. So, but guys, we need the testimonies for Testimony Tuesday. There are just so many pieces. I mean, this weekend, I got so many phone calls and so many text messages of saying, you would not believe what is happening. You would not believe here. You would not believe what my sister. We want those on Tuesdays.
Yeah, please encourage everyone you know who has a testimony to share that. That needs to be something that gives others hope on the team, but there's a lot of people that need to hear that. That testimony needs to be shared with the world.
Yeah. So, okay, leadership training. Um, this coming this coming Wednesday, chapter 9. So if you want to jump on this train of becoming an incredible leader for of all the people that God is just putting in your heart and on your mind and who are joining your organization to change the world, definitely jump on that. And then if you had not already, go to YouTube and go to @TopTierLifeWave, and you're going to be able to find all the recordings there. This Thursday, ladies, there is going to be your Thursday Zoom for all the women that are business women. This is an incredible opportunity for all of us women to get together and become better leaders and to do life together as a community. So that's going to be huge. Okay, so I want to remind everyone before we jump into the Monday piece, a confused mind does nothing, and Champion Makers has just been made easier. Okay. So when every single person, and if you're new, every single time somebody jumps in with you, even if they say, I don't know if I want to share yet or not, you want to ensure that they visit championmakers.com. Okay. And the reason why is they've updated the whole site where it's the latest videos. So I don't feel so much that I'm having to send like a 30-step process now. They've added the correct videos. It's not outdated anymore. Okay. And so I am telling them all. So I've changed my welcome text. Okay. But I'm also walking people through it. Right. So I sent this welcome text to 7 people this weekend that are new in our organization. But today is going to be my follow-up to make sure that they did visit championmakers.com, that they were able to get into school, and then telling them which forms and downloads, because we have people from all over the world that are joining. And a lot of times when they're about to go in on the website and join, there's a lot of confusion, especially when people are just now starting, right? So Rick actually was the one that impressed on me order forms. So you want to add that? Okay. So John Inkley gets to see the side of Rick all the time. It's like, keep going. And so the pro sheet at the very bottom of the forms helps you remember who you were speaking to. So if on the call on Saturday morning, if you saw this, I really try to make that call where you can use that call for our team as a very, duplicatable call. But this pro, it's the very bottom worksheet. This helps you remember how many times you followed up with people. And remember, I'm always going to say it, their urgency or your emergency may not be their urgency. Your emergency may not be their urgency. You love people where they're at, even though you know what you have your hands on and that you're going to impact their life. They might not be in the right time frame or moment in that moment. Love them where they're at and keep dripping on them with testimonies. Okay. And then every time you follow up with them, check that little box. And then you're going to see the school training right here. So if you guys need this, I can put this in the chat as we're training this morning, and then make your list, the closest people to you, the people who need it, and the people who are business minded. And then the champion makers and school training, all of that is right here on this YouTube. And then enroll in how to get to managers right here. I mean, it's all yeah, or in classroom. I'm sorry.
Make sure it's in classroom.
Yeah, it's all in classroom. So all of this is all here just for you guys. So and I'll put that on. Oh, Dr. Duggar, are you on?
I am.
Good. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing because I know that you're going to be with patients here in a minute, but would you share what you are seeing with the water machine? And also, if you wouldn't mind, can you see what you've seen with a few of your patients?
Sure, yeah. Well, with the water machine, I got it in last week. And so I think it was Wednesday. And my wife, Angie, and I both drank some of the water after we, got it up and running Wednesday evening. And so we didn't, the next morning, I wasn't really thinking about it, but Angie had played pickleball for 3 hours, and she played basketball in college. She's been pretty hard on her body, and so she doesn't like it when I tell her that I think the pickleball is, bothering her joints. But she has ankle and foot pain that on a fairly regular basis. Since she's been using the patches, that's been a lot better. But every morning when she wakes up, her ankles and feet are always stiff, and she, has to walk around a little bit before they feel better. And then she played 3 hours pickleball Wednesday evening. And so when we got up Thursday morning, she was really surprised. She said, "My feet and ankles don't hurt at all. Like they're not even stiff," which is a first. I don't know. She would have to tell you, but it's been several years probably that she hadn't had some degree of stiffness in her feet and ankles. And so, and then I noticed similar results. And I still have pain in my joints at times, hands and wrists especially. And so just 100% gone. So we've been doing it every day for, I guess it's been 5 days now, 6 days. And I had heard David Schmidt talk about, this kind of self-study that he was doing with his daughter. I think he said back probably 6 or 7 months ago, I heard him talking about the X2O, and he said they were using the water, and he was using the 39 and 49, and he was watching his bench press, and I think it was, I don't know if this is exactly right, but it was a very short time frame, like 3 weeks, and he was just spent a total of maybe 20 minutes over those 3 weeks doing bench press, and he had some kind of, I guess, 1 rep max or some type of protocol he was looking at, but his bench press went up a lot. I went from 220 or 230 pounds to over 300 pounds, which is a lot. And I think Brittany, you may know, I think David's in his mid 60s, late 60s.
Yeah.
So I was really impressed by that. So anyway, I did a 3 rep. I wouldn't say it's the max, but I did a 3 rep bench the other day. And I'm going to do that once a week and just see where that goes. But all that to say, I work out maybe 4 days, 5 days a week. And I can already tell that my strength is better. And I don't know if that's placebo or not, because I don't know if I've been on the water long enough, but I've been joking that I'm going to get superpowers and that I'm going to be Captain America. So maybe it's the mindset too, but anyway, we'll see where it goes. I'm excited about what I'm seeing so far. And I can tell you that there's definitely an added benefit when you're drinking the water and using the patches, when it comes to knocking down inflammation and just feeling better, moving better. So I think we're going to see even better things as we've been on it longer.
Awesome. That is so awesome. So I'm going to ask you one more question. So what are you seeing as far as with just the X39? What are some of the pieces now that your patients have been on it longer? What are you starting to see as the long-term benefits? Because I know that this Wednesday night is going to be a special Zoom, so I want everybody to hear this because Danny's going to be impressing on the Wednesday night Zoom that we need to wear it longer than, 1 month per decade that we're alive. So what are you seeing now that your patients have been wearing it longer? What are you seeing?
Well, I know with blood sugar issues, we're seeing kind of a metabolic reset for a lot of people where their average blood sugar is coming down and staying down, even when they're not eating perfectly. And high blood pressure, similar results where they're seeing a drop in their blood pressure, and in some cases coming off their blood pressure medicine. So those have been encouraging. As far as neurodegenerative stuff, still seeing good results there that are sustainable or that are being maintained, with Parkinson's, tremors going away and staying. One person I know, it's been 10 months now, I think 10 or 11 months, and still having the same good results where the tremor has gone away and not returned. Not seeing it 100% of the time. We've one lady has another reason for her tremor. I think she's had a stroke that was likely from the COVID vaccine. So she has a really pretty severe tremor in her right arm, and she's been using the X39 and the Eon for maybe close to 2 months now, and she's not really seen much improvement yet. So I'm not seeing it, in 100% of the cases that we're observing right away. But like in that case, I'm hoping as she's been on it longer that we're going to start seeing some improvement in her tremor. But definitely with metabolic disorders like diabetes, inflammatory conditions, arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, we're seeing most people get a good response within the first few weeks and maintaining that response. I've talked to one person who has rheumatoid arthritis, who's not my patient, but I met him when we were hosting something here at the clinic. And he told me that he saw initially a response with the patches, but then after 3 or 4 months, he started feeling some return of his joint pain. And he said it was still better than what it was prior to starting, but he had sort of a flare up, I think, of his inflammation. And so all that to say, I think there's a lot of factors. You really do have to look at what kind of foods you're eating, what's promoting inflammation. Are you getting enough rest? Are you hydrating well enough? It's not just a linear equation where you say X plus Y equals Z. You have to really pay attention to lifestyle. So I think those are all important things, but in general, yes, the trend has been very, very positive, and the longer people are on it, the more benefits they're seeing. And so I think, and I still think it's very early in the game. I've just been promoting them and using them personally for a little over a year. So I anticipate, 2 years, 5 years down the road that we're just going to continue to see greater and greater benefits and some things that we didn't even anticipate that are going to be the result of just consistency over time.
That is awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Duggar, who's also our family doctor. So thank you. We met him and I was like, he's going to be our doctor. So thank you so much because, those are wise words and that's the piece. So we're going to be covering the schedule. We're going to be covering the schedule this right now. And it's very important that all of us understand that when we are plugging our people into this technology, that we are, first of all, we're giving them full truth. The full truth, full transparency of here's the deal. We know what the technology does because of our light frequency, because of what our body is capable of doing, put in the right circumstances, right? And so we want to encourage our people that, because remember, we're life changers. So we want to encourage them to also, hey, have the proper diet don't just stick your X39 on it and just expect, you need to be, plug into everything because the X39 helps your body do what your body was created to do. But you want to encourage them to help see those results in a better manner to do all the things that they're already supposed to be doing. So
You really have to eat well. You can't just tell your doctor that you eat well. That's something I do. Yep, Dr. Duggar, I had a salad. Yes, sir. I remember that one time that I had that salad.
Your house.
Yeah.
It's just bags of M&Ms. Yeah, so just make sure. Now, guys, I want you guys to screenshot this if you guys please can, if everyone can screenshot this. So you want to plug your team and stay close to the fire. And those of you that I know that we've got some Europeans right now, some in Spain, some in England, please mark your calendars, okay? And make and this is going to be something that you probably want to send with the welcome text that I just sent out on the group chat, okay? Team calls with Work with Champions are on Sunday nights. You can watch the replays because a lot of times that might be in the middle of the night for some of you. The Monday morning calls, that link is right here. Obviously, you guys are on it. But the Wednesday leadership call, the Saturday new brand partner training call, that workwithchampions.com, that's going to be every time, that's going to be the link. Okay. And then your opportunity Zooms.
So these top ones, these are for people that are brand partners that are on the team.
Yes. So that, yes.
You're not inviting people to those.
Yes. You're not inviting people to those. Okay. Unless on Sunday nights, I did call somebody because last week. So if you get a message from us, that says there's going to be some powerful testimonies, you may want to tell them to jump on just for the testimonies. I will tell you, you will hear from one of me or Rick. That's it.
Detail.
Yes. Okay. So know your opportunity Zooms when you can invite a guest. Okay. So Mondays, 8 Central Standard, Tuesdays, ladies, 1 Central Standard. So that works beautifully for the European times. Tuesday testimony calls. Okay, those will always be found on the at Top Tier LifeWave channel afterwards. And then Wednesday night, and then Friday business focused as well. So we will also be adding in some other times for Europeans. So go ahead.
Yeah, we're going to accommodate Europe. So just make sure you're paying attention to the difference with top tier and champion makers, right? So which ones you can invite people to, which ones are just, for the team. But when you're looking, these times are always the same. There's always the Sunday night call. There's always the Monday morning call. The Zooms, the opportunity Zooms are always at the same time, same day. So just really get to know this because this is something we still get a lot of questions. We have a lot of people logging into the top tier, Zoom channel when it's a champion makers one. But this is something that's this is the meat and potatoes of your business. This is something where you're inviting people and you want them to join the organization. This is the stuff that you have to know and get down so you can share that information.
Yep. Okay. So here it is.
Now,
Okay.
also, as we start on this, this is the schedule that you're seeing
For this week.
for champion making. This is our version of that schedule. You will not see the top tier schedule in champion makers. You will not see that on there. So this is different from what you're going to see
On Sunday night.
in school. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. That's good because this Sunday night, this is what what you see, but it does not have the top tier added in. Okay. So tonight there is an opportunity Zoom. Tomorrow there's a training on the Bahamas, how to get there on the cruise. And then our testimony Tuesday tomorrow night, leadership on Wednesday, and here you go. Wednesday, guys, X39 presentation befores and afters. Okay, this is huge. I've already seen some befores and afters just after 6 months, and I'm about to show you one that's going to blow your mind. Please remember, you utilize this technology longer than 6 months. You, at the metabolic age, you reverse in average 8.5 years. It is starting to show what is happening. It is incredible. This call is going to be amazing. If you cannot get people on, it will be available in school for replay always. Okay. And then Thursday night, this is going to be a big piece. As leaders, we want to have all of our friends Freedom Night. So special Freedom Night, manager making machine, special Freedom Night for everyone, because we feel like everyone deserves freedom. And so if there is something you struggle with spiritually, or there are things that you just struggle with, let's get rid of it on Thursday night. So we're going to do that together. And then the X39 business presentation on Friday at 1 o'clock Central Standard. And then your new brand partner training done by Danny McDaniel as well. So Danny and Diane are really taking over this week, which is great for all of us because we know that they'll deliver. Here you go. Here it is. Here's one of the befores and afters that they are using on Wednesday night. Okay. So this is our dear friend Carla, who's in the DiMartino organization. You guys take a look at this. Isn't this amazing? She's using the X39 and the Alavita at night. This is amazing. Okay, so script to invite to Wednesday night. Okay, for your new people, it's not going to change, but this is going to blow your mind. We are on to something so big, and it is going to be in every household globally. And I don't want you to miss this. You have to look at the future of what we have our hands on. And there is a Zoom tonight that is going to show you and prove to you how incredible this is. I cannot wait for you to jump on this. Can you be my guest tonight? That's it. We're not going into deep science because not all of us are doctors are capable of it. We are on to something big, and the Zoom will do the work. Anything there?
Yep.
Okay, you're laughing.
The picture that does it all.
Yeah, the picture does it all, right? And then follow-ups. So this is a good one for those that you have called, that you have, like, I've called them 6 times, and Brittany, I can't get them on. This is a special Zoom. So you say, look, and this is what I'm going to do. I have about 26 of them, actually, not that I was counting this morning. But look, I know that you've heard me talk about this technology and you've come across my mind over and over. This tonight, and this is what I'm going to say on Wednesday, is a special Zoom. And this is going to show you what I've been talking to you about. It's going to blow your mind. And I don't want you to miss this. Sarah, you have come to my mind over and over. I know you are supposed to use this. And tonight is a special Zoom that's going to be talking about how big this is. And it's going to prove to you what I'm telling you about age reversal. Are you available to be my guest? And that's it. Okay. So that's huge. So anything there? Okay. Okay. So this is it always makes fun of me. Okay, so I would love so guys, in this business, the one thing that I've found that is hard for me is that I know what I have my hands on. And sometimes it's easy for us to have just noises in our head because people think it's just too good to be true. this is too good to be true. It's not. We all on here know it's not. Okay, because the majority of all of you I'm looking have seen testimonies in your own life. I would like one of our directors, Kim Lowry, to unmute herself just quickly, Kim, and just maybe in just a couple minutes, in like 2 minutes, can you share our conversation this weekend and how it was just, you were going through a lot. And if you could share what ended up happening right after when really there was just a reset.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I've been through a lot. I've been doing this. I just want to encourage you because I've been doing this. Today is 1.5 years. I made manager in 2 weeks, director in like 4 months, and I've been sitting on 90% director, but I've been going through a lot of things medically with multiple people in my family I've been taking care of. And although I've been sharing, sometimes it gets discouraging and you're thinking, okay, when is this going to happen? But I think the thing that I know what I have my hands on. I know that we did not know when my husband started this to begin with, when Brittany shared it with us, that he was only going to have 16 months to live. But I know that in that time, he didn't have a foot amputated. He did not go blind because all the nerve damage was reversed. And I know that his heart was healing. So whatever happened, it was none of the things that we could have known about. And, we don't know, but I know the difference, in these last 16 months and what it could have been. And I do know that they said, don't give up. You have what you have your hands on. And they said, give it that 2 to 3 years. And it gets discouraged when you feel stuck and you're also going through things. But I talked with Brittany, and I know the Lord brought me to this because I prayed too many years, very specifically in prayers that I started thinking about how prophetic they were because I had never prayed like that in my life and some of the things. And then when God brought this to me, I knew this was it. And I know I want to help people, and I know this can make a difference in people's lives. And regardless of the time that they have here on this earth, and I can't give up. And I guess my encouragement is don't give up, because I spoke with Brittany this weekend and she encouraged me. I was praying and it's like, Lord, I want to help people and I need you to get me out of the way. And so she said, you're going to do this and just watch what God's going to do. And I went to the store and I was in the pharmacy line picking up a script for my mom. And I turned around and there's this lady standing there in scrubs. We have a lot of nurses in our family, including my daughter. And so I just struck up a conversation. Long story short, I'm meeting with her either tonight or tomorrow because she was praying for something. And she's been in a binary business before. She understands what it can do. She's working at a doctor's office right now. But what if I had given up? What if I hadn't pressed in? I have no idea how many lives are going to be touched from this point on. And all I'm saying is give it the time, not only in wearing it, because I will always be wearing it. As a matter of fact, I'm patching one of my older dogs, and every time he hears the Velcro rip open for me to put my patch on, he comes running through the house waiting for his patch now. He knows on cue he's going to get a patch. And it's working great for him too, for some issues. But don't give up, make the phone call, get a hold of somebody. This whole team, we're a team. And whether it helps me personally or not with what I'm doing, I'm here for all of y'all. And I know that so many of us can be here for each other and to encourage each other and to give each other the hope, because there's so many people out there, they need hope. And they're looking for it in so many ways, and we have an answer. So I'm just saying, don't give up. And you never know. You never know when you're going to turn around and that next person is going to be right there in front of you. And just be encouraged in that. And let those around you, the rest of us on this team, be an encouragement to you. If you need a phone number, if you need to reach out, it's available. Just, let me know, let Brittany know, let anybody know. But let's do this.
I love it.
And don't give up. because it's worth stepping out and putting our feet to action and making this happen. There's a whole world out there. You think about it, there's a whole world out there. So
I love it. Oh, Kim, and we love you so much. That just puts together beautifully, you guys. There's just so many people that need this and they don't know about it, right? And so they are, I was even talking to a very high up leader's child this weekend, and she was messaging me, and I said, every time you walk into a room, you need to know that you were put in that room for a purpose, for a reason. So it's your job to scan the room and to say, who is it that was put in the room for me to impact their life for the rest of their lives? And she said, you know what? That's so good. And so she said, she walked into a room and she said, Brittany, we just started the Spanish This Is It training. And she said, and this one lady walked up and I just knew that she was in the room for me. She didn't speak a lick of English. And I asked her for her phone number and translated it. And Brittany, she signed up. She said she was put in the room just for me. And I know that her family's going to see miracles because of this. We just have to know, you guys, what we have our hands on. Know what we have our hands on. Okay, so I want to touch on something. And Rick has had to walk me through something, and we've talked about this before. It's the Monday morning meltdown. Okay, so you've worked hard. Kim has been through this too. You've worked hard to get to director, to senior director, whatever it is. And then something happens where you're like, oh my gosh, I woke up on Monday morning and I went from manager to not a manager, from director to not a director. And we're going to explain to you how and why that happens. Okay, so you need to wake up on Mondays knowing that your Monday is going to look a little bit different. Okay, and I'm going to log in under somebody that I have a feeling they woke up and they aren't what they actually are in the computer system. So I'm going to try and see if let's see if he is still a director. Let's see. Oh, he's still a director. Okay. Well, if he was not still a director, okay. So if our friend Ron Hamilton woke up and he said, "Gosh, I'm not a director or a manager anymore." Okay. What you're going to do is not panic. Because a lot of times what needs to happen is somebody needs to ship, okay, that week, because he didn't have enough people on the left, he didn't have enough people on the right, and somebody was due to ship this week. And until they ship, he might not show as manager, okay? And so that is something that is important to understand and not panic, because Rick and I would wake up and I would go, Rick, we're not directors anymore. Oh my gosh, we're not senior director. We're not, okay. Well, it was just because somebody is due to ship. Okay. So when you log in, you need to look at rank advancement and not panic. Okay. And then here, if you click this left or right, if it's not fully green, then that tells you that there's something going on that somebody needs to ship. Okay. So let's say that he said, okay, it says that there's not enough people on the right leg. Okay. Now take a look at this. These are all the people on his right. Now, do you see right here where it says their next order due date? It's September 15th and September 16th. If there's not a next month or a next order due date, and they are not, oh, wait, and they are not on monthly subscription, look at what ends up happening. So this person right here, they're not on a monthly subscription. They need to order by September 15th in order for him to have them stay active. So he's going to call Kip and he's going to say, hey, I know we just signed you up, but I didn't put you on a monthly subscription order. And that's important for you, Kip, because it is important for Kip. Because anybody that I sign up in the next couple weeks is going to fall underneath you, and that volume is accruing under you, Kip. and you've got some major volume happening already. You've got $49,771 in right leg volume that you can tap into once you start sharing. So see, and he hasn't started sharing, but look what this says right here. In order to remain active next period, an order must be placed by this date. Okay, so
64.
oh yeah, look at how many people he has underneath him. 164 people that are adding to his volume. This is the beauty of a binary. This is why Kim told this lady it's a binary, and she went, "Oh, I know what a binary is. Get me a spot." Because guys, a binary company, I don't know if you guys realize how difficult it is to find a good, strong binary company. LifeWave is it.
And this goes back to the beginning when you're first onboarding someone. This is what we talk about, the importance of auto ship. When you don't have people on auto ship, this is what you spend your time doing on a Monday, is going back through. You spend your time chasing people down because everyone's going to remember to order. But if this happens, we see this over and over and over. And it's normally the 3 phone calls that come, in this morning that, on Monday that says, hey, why did I fall off? What's going on? What did I do wrong? And then we have to go back and just sort through that. That's also, so when you onboard correctly and you get people, the champion makers, you get them in school, you tell them about top tier schedule, and they're plugged into the Zoom, so they'll hear us talking about this over and over and over. When you're not plugged in, or your people are not plugged in because they didn't have the information, then they have no idea of what they're supposed to be doing. So make sure you're getting everybody on auto ship, and just realizing the importance of it'll save you so much time and heartache.
Oh, it will.
And people can always come off of auto ship. So it's like I said, just about everything you sign up for now, it includes an auto ship of some sort. Everything's automated. You have it just set up with a card, and it keeps coming. That's exactly what you want to do. But people, you can come off of it. But I'll tell you, if you're not on it, people do not remember to order on time.
Yeah, life just gets in the way. And let me tell you, somebody called me last week and they said, "Oh my gosh, Brittany, I didn't order." And I said, "Oh my gosh." I said, "I called you 6 times." And she was like, "I know." And I said, "I wish you would have just given me your login, because I will help you, because I want to make sure that she caught it right in time, where you don't lose your spot, but that volume that's accruing, even if the volume, guys, is not 49,000, even if the volume is 800, that's a big deal. That is a big deal. That is the difference between a $200 check in the grand scheme of things, if that person does something on the other side. So it's very important for you to help them. Okay, so you're helping your people know their shipment dates. Kim Lowry she is a beautiful example of saying, okay, well, she and I used to panic together because we've been in this for so long, and both of us would fall off of directors or whatever it is. And Kim would say, "Well, I know that Tabitha, she actually ships on this day, and she ships on this day, and she ships on this day, and this person's shipment isn't going through. So I need to call them. Well, their card expired." So she just knew what she needed to do, and she knows what she needs to do to stay to director. So that's incredible. And if you are a manager or above, it doesn't matter if you're making $100,000 a month, $50,000 a month, $5,000 a month, whatever it is, if you're a manager or above, they need 2 sleeves a month. So remember that managers need 2 sleeves a month. They're wearing it anyways. They're age reversing anyways. X39 Eon or X39 Alavita, X39 Ice Wave, and they own their business forever. So, and their bodies are changing. So any piece there we need to cover? Okay. So know your people, know their people. Okay. So if you're a director, I'm speaking to you. Know your managers and know their people. Okay. Lead their people well. Okay. If you don't know them, you need to keep on them and say, "Introduce this person to me," because their desires of their life, of their health, of their family's health, you may be able to speak to that. Okay. And do they know why they want to remain active? Okay. So I got a lot of people saying, well, they just ordered an advanced package. So why do they need to remain active for 6 months? Because they just got an advanced package. Well, that is something that's important to explain to them. Again, explaining the volume. You got a spot within Apple or Microsoft, basically, before it was Apple or Microsoft. As this business grows, your volume is going to be growing even with people you don't even know. So yes, like Dr. Stewart in England. I mean, I'm using him as an example. He just hit manager just this morning. I mean, he's just amazing in less than a week. But here's the piece of the puzzle. He's already introduced me to his people. And I know the miracles that we're going to be doing together because he's introduced me to his people. So I know what they desire. I know what's in their hearts. I know what's in their spirit. And we're going to impact the world together because I know their why. And all of them love people. So this is the same piece, but Dr. Stewart already knows this is what they need to do in order to stay active. And this is what they need to do in order to keep their money growing underneath them. And he's explaining it beautifully. And they are going to be doing the same thing because guess what? All this business is sharing, loving people, and duplication. So they were taught this morning duplication of you want to remain active because Brittany and I are going to be helping put people in the binary and volume will be coming underneath you. And I don't want you to lose that volume. That's it. And so that's the beauty of not having a Monday morning meltdown because the enemy likes to take, steal, kill, and destroy and wants you to have a meltdown so that the rest of your week is a bad week. Not that I would know anything about that. Right? So know what you need in order not to fall back. Okay. So I knew that a lot of our directors were newer directors in the beginning. And so we would fall back. So I would say, you know what? Okay. So we, in order not to lose the senior director spot or in order not to lose the SPD, we need to have 2 directors. Well, guess what? We really needed to have 6. Because everybody ships at different times through the month. Same thing with managers. You need to have 5, 6 managers on the left and 5 or 6 managers on the right. And that sounds far. It's not far-fetched. It's just duplication. Who do you love? Who do you love? Who do you love? Who do they love? Who do they love? People need this. Right?
Yep.
Okay. So
Yeah.
so just remember the daily method of operation. Okay. 5 of those people that God placed on our hearts. This is what Rick and I are doing. 5 couples, 5 successful individuals, 5 holistic doctors, and 5 that are hurting. That's what I'm calling a day. Whatever your daily method of operation is, keep to it and know, just like him, that it's going to happen. Okay. And before everybody jumps off, Bernadette, I would love for you quickly to share how you have not given up. You just hit director. And Bernadette, if you're on here, if you could just share quickly. I think you're on here. I saw you. There she is. There she is.
Hey, how are you guys?
Good morning. So I would like you real quickly before we pray out over everyone. Can you just share quickly? Because I know you have been the most tenacious person. You've been waiting patiently to find the people that want to impact the world with you. And you've been speaking life, but just share with everyone, when people don't want to run as fast as you, what have you been doing?
I'll be honest, it's been one of the hardest things. And when God gave me this vision of doing this, I was like, okay, I can do this logically. I've been in real estate. I know how to meet and greet. I'm a friendly extrovert. I get it. But it was this vision that I didn't realize it's more of a calling. It's kind of like being a wife or being a mother. It's not, and I have older kids now as well that are in college and things like that. But it was in the in between. It was that middle ground that of persevering through the unknown, whether it been with our marriage issues or from being a parental issue of like, oh my gosh, my kid's crazy, right? But for this business, it's the unknown and you have to persevere and push through. And that is the hardest part because you don't even know what you're getting into, right? You're just like, holy cow, this is not easy. And this calling, and it's a great calling. And then when I had my time with the Lord, and that's the key for me, it was the hearing from on high and God saying, this is what I've called you to do. Like, you are not called to mediocrity. You are called for greatness. You either step up to it or you don't. And it's pushing through that. And that vision, it's going to be tested. I was tested so much. I felt defeated constantly. But when you go back and talk with your maker, you walk out no longer like a little wet rat. You're coming out like a freaking lioness or lion. and and you're like, okay, this is who I am. I don't even care if they don't understand the path. I don't care if I sound crazy anymore because it's coming from on high. And that to me changed absolutely everything. And then it's a heart thing when you meet some of the people. I have been so blessed. I hear Brittany, you say all the time, we are a team together, and these people that the Lord has put in my life is truly a blessing. I'm blessed to have them in my life. It's not vice versa. It's completely, they have some great experience in life that we get to join hands. And yes, we're impacting the world, but it's for divine destiny. It is not just for, hey, let's go out and share the light and it's gonna be good and we're gonna have healing. All that is great. That's yes, that's, but to me that's like a byproduct of developing these amazing relationships with people that also, whether they're hearing from on high or not, they are receiving it from me because the Lord put that conviction in my heart of, no, this is what we're supposed to be doing. And that's leadership, right? Whether again in this business, in your marriage, in your work, in being a parent, it's pressing through that unknown and carrying that light of conviction. I know when the Lord gave me this vision because I have a tumor, guys, right? And praise God, I'm healed of it. But at the same time, when you do certain things, whether it be you have a breast cancer or something and you do a mammogram, right? And they push it down. It's under the pressure of when you press down on things, it multiplies it. So when we're going through the fire, I hope I'm saying this right because it was kind of vision. I haven't even vocalized it. I'm still kind of processing it. God's saying I'm pressing it through, but your fire is supposed to multiply. And I was like, oh, just like cells multiply under pressure, when we get pressured, our fire's supposed to light up even stronger. And I was like, that's what I needed, Lord. That's exactly it. So when we are, I don't know, I just want to urge you guys, we're not just here to be idle. We're not meant to be passive. Go out. It's okay to make mistakes. And oh my gosh, I've made the mistakes. But we're meant to hold still, stay strong in our faith with what God's told us to do. And those obstacles aren't meant to be our finish line. Those are meant for us to just hurdle over, not stop, keep pushing through. Don't overthink it. Show up even when you feel okay, because feelings or go back and forth. We are not to doubt, we're not to waver. And we're supposed to rise up knowing that, okay, this is my purpose, whether it comes through, if I get people or not this whole week, I'm going to keep going, period. And that to me has been the biggest thing because we're starting, here's the Monday, we're going to get going. And I'm going to continue to stay faithful, even though this is the middle ground of what the trials are going to come, but keep going through. And that's helped me. But again, the people that I get to be around has been awesome. Like it's great when there's unity, and that's what God meant for us to have, guys. We're meant to be unified with our purpose.
That's right. That's so good. That's good. That's good. So yes, so guys, we just know Monday mornings are just a reset for the week. Okay. Know your people, know your managers, and say, okay, you're a manager still. It's just that you're due to ship. Somebody's due to ship. Let's look in your back office and let's make sure that we know who's due to ship this week. And let's give them a call and say, hey, don't lose your manager status, or hey, don't lose your spot, because as people are put in, they're going to be placed underneath you. You don't want to lose that volume. So when you explain that to people, that really helps them understand, okay, I don't want to lose my spot. I don't want to lose my volume. let me put in an Eon and Alavita or whatever it is. And then I'm going to open it up for questions. I know, Pat, we're going to have you share next week. I think that people have to get off and we don't want to block them, and then we'll open up for questions, but I want to pray over y'all before you guys jump. Is there anything else? Okay. All right. Heavenly Father, Lord, we just thank you for this team, Lord God. We thank you that there are going to be so many testimonies and so many miracles from this week. We thank you, Heavenly Father, that there's not going to be any Monday meltdowns, that we are going to dig into our teams, that we are all going to help each other build and grow and impact lives together with the light that you've put inside of us. We just thank you. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, y'all. You have the best week. Be tenacious. We'll see you guys on each of the Zooms or whenever you guys jump on, but invite people, because this is going to be a big week. All right, so we'll take Q&A. Claudette.
Hey, good morning. Really quick question. I've got to get on my day job conference at